Welcome back to the Midnight Narrator, where the digital world can become a conduit to the other side, and the desperate search for a lost loved one can lead down a path of chilling revelations. Tonight, we explore a story of grief, obsession, and a chilling encounter with the unknown. A journey that begins with a cryptic message on an obscure online forum and ends in a desperate quest for answers in a realm beyond our own. Prepare to question the boundaries between life and death as we delve into the haunting mystery of echoes of loss. Turn down the lights, listen closely, and brace yourselves for a descent into a world where the echoes of the departed may be more real and more terrifying than we dare to imagine. Online communities had always felt like distant constellations in my periphery, their glow faint and uninteresting. That was until one unexpectedly became a frayed thread leading to my vanished brother. Ryan had disappeared 2 years prior. A mundane errand, fetching morning coffee, became his vanishing point. No forced entry, no frantic calls, no drained accounts, no witnesses, just gone. The police, their faces grim and apologetic, whispered, possible abduction, but the investigation stalled, choked by the absence of any tangible lead. The unanswered questions became a gnawing grief that splintered our family. Mother became a ghost, her plate untouched at every meal. Father retreated into the hollow echo of his own silence. And I became a shell, adrift in an ocean of emotional numbness. One suffocating night, adrift in the digital labyrinth of forums dedicated to unexplained disappearances, a thread snagged my attention. Voices from the veil, reaching out to the departed. Buried deep in an obscure corner of the web, it was a digital sanctuary for those claiming to commune with the deceased. Nonsense, I scoffed. Yet a comment shimmered in the digital darkness, drawing me closer. A user named Faint Resonance typed, "Sometimes those who are lost are unaware of their crossing. Sometimes they linger, tethered to the familiar, yearning for what was." Another user, skeptical, challenged, "How can you claim this?" Faint Resonance simply replied, "Because I am one such." A volatile cocktail of grief, desperation, and bone-deep exhaustion propelled me forward. I created an anonymous account, my fingers trembling as I typed a message to Faint Resonance. "If you truly are lost, prove it. Tell me something only Ryan would know." The response arrived with unnerving speed, the words searing themselves onto the screen. "Validation you seek? The memory of you fracturing Ryan's nose during a childish battle over Mario Kart, the bitter sting of tears and the cloying taste of copper, and yet he forgave you long before you ever forgave yourself for that childish rage." Faint Resonance answered with a chilling certainty, "You already know." The following weeks dissolved into a surreal nocturnal ritual. Each night, shrouded in darkness, I engaged in spectral dialogues with Faint Resonance. He painted a disquieting portrait of his reality, a fractured mirror of our world, familiar yet desolate, an eternally overcast sky pressed down on deserted streets. An oppressive quietude hung heavy in the air. He couldn't explain his arrival, only the unsettling awakening within this gray expanse, trapped and unable to escape. As our exchanges deepened, his mannerisms, his turns of phrase became undeniably Ryan's. He conjured up forgotten memories. The silly pet name he had for our childhood mutt, Buster, the mortifying junior high dance recital he'd secretly recorded, threatening to unleash it at my wedding. Details so intimately personal, they punched a hole through my carefully constructed wall of disbelief. Then one evening a message arrived that sent a shiver of dread crawling up my spine. "They are watching me now," he typed, the digital words burning with a chilling urgency. "My contact. It displeases them." "Who are they?" I frantically typed back, my heart hammering against my ribs. But his replies became cryptic, veiled in shadow. "The Keepers. The Shadows. Those who maintain the stillness here, they do not welcome disruption. Then silence. Weeks bled into each other, the digital connection severed, leaving me stranded in a renewed desolation. Hope, once a fragile seedling, withered and died. Just as I was about to succumb to despair, a new message materialized in my inbox, a digital beacon in the darkness. Do you want to see me? Attached was a hyperlink, a live video stream. Hesitation warred with a desperate clawing curiosity. Curiosity, fueled by a sliver of resurrected hope, won. My mouse clicked. The stream flickered to life, revealing a dimly lit street, an uncanny echo of the one Ryan and I had grown up on. But something was wrong. The houses seemed warped, their familiar shapes undulating, shimmering like heat haze rising from asphalt. In the distance, a figure emerged from the distorted landscape, moving towards the camera with a jerky, unnatural gait. As he drew closer, the familiar planes of his face resolved, sharpening into the features I knew so intimately. It was Ryan, but wrong. His eyes were black pools, unnaturally dilated, reflecting no light. His movements were stiff, mechanical, like a puppet manipulated by unseen strings. He stretched his lips into a smile, aimed at the camera, at me, but it was a grotesque imitation of joy, strained and hollow, devoid of warmth. He raised a hand in a jerky wave. In the live chat beside the video, words materialized, typed with agonizing slowness. "It's me, I told you I was here." Paralysis seized me. My breath hitched in my throat, my heart a frantic drum against my ribs. Is this real? Am I losing my mind? Suddenly, the camera lurched violently, the image blurring. They surged forward, their misshapen limbs like tendrils of animate night, reaching, grasping. Ryan typed frantically, his words a desperate plea flashing across the screen. "They are coming. They know. You must help me. Find the gateway." The video feed cut to static, plunging me back into the cold, stark reality of my apartment, leaving me trembling, heart pounding a frantic tattoo against my ribs. The following days were consumed by a frantic, obsessive search. I dissected every message, every fragmented clue, every whispered detail Ryan, or faint resonance, had revealed about his desolate world, desperately seeking any indication of this gateway. One location surfaced repeatedly, a phantom echo from our shared childhood. An old, dilapidated cabin deep in the woods, a forgotten playground of youthful adventures. Driven by a desperate, irrational sliver of hope or perhaps madness, I drove there, the car eating up miles. Each turn of the wheel a gamble against crushing disappointment. The cabin stood just as memory painted it, weathered, decaying, swallowed by encroaching wilderness. Inside, dust motes danced in the faint light filtering through cracks in the boarded-up windows. Pushing aside a threadbare, moth-eaten rug, my fingers brushed against something unexpected, a hidden seam in the floorboards. Beneath the worn wooden planks, a rough-hewn access point leading down into darkness. A rickety wooden ladder descended into the unknown. Hesitantly, fear warring with a desperate need for answers, I climbed down into the suffocating blackness. The subterranean passage stretched on, an oppressive tunnel burrowing deep into the earth, the air thick with the smell of damp earth and something else, something ancient and indefinable. At its end, a formidable metal door loomed, cold and unyielding, adorned with strange, unsettling etchings that seemed to writhe in the dim light of my phone. As my fingers traced the cold alien symbols, my phone vibrated. A new message from faint resonance. "They know you are here, they are coming, do not let them through." Before I could even register the chilling warning, the shadows began to bleed from the tunnel walls, tendrils of darkness flowing towards me like animate pitch, the oppressive quiet shattered by a low, guttural growl that seemed to resonate from the very stone around me. Instinct, pure and primal, took over. Ignoring the icy dread that threatened to paralyze me, I threw my weight against the metal door, forcing it inward, and stumbled across the threshold, plunging into the unknown. The next moments defied logic, shattered the boundaries of reality. One instant I was choking in the suffocating darkness of the tunnel. The next, I stood in the gray, vacant realm Ryan had described, the air heavy, the silence absolute. pressing down like a physical weight. And there he was, Ryan, standing only feet away, his dilated eyes wide with a desperate plea fixed on me. "Ryan," I breathed, the name catching in my throat, a choked whisper in the oppressive stillness. Relief, disbelief, and a dizzying sense of unreality warred within me, but before he could utter a single word, before he could confirm the desperate hope that had driven me here, the shadows surged. They erupted from the desolate landscape, tendrils of darkness coalescing into a tidal wave of night engulfing him. His final scream, a sound ripped raw from the depths of despair, echoing in the silent realm, is the last sound I recall. I awoke in my bed the next morning, the harsh sunlight slanting through my window, disorienting, alien, my hand clenched tightly around something unfamiliar, something solid and real in the aftermath of the surreal. Unfurling my fingers, I saw it, a piece of paper, inexplicably, undeniably, in my hand. And upon it, in Ryan's unmistakable familiar script, were inscribed the chilling enigmatic words, "Continue searching, another gateway exists." And there we conclude our deeply unsettling journey into echoes of loss, a story that leaves us with a chilling ambiguity and the lingering question, what lies beyond the gateway? Was it truly Ryan, reaching out from a spectral prison, or something else entirely, manipulating grief for its own sinister purposes? And what does the cryptic message on the paper truly mean? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If this tale has left you with a newfound unease about the digital whispers from the void and the lengths we might go to in the face of unbearable loss, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to join us on future journeys into the darkness. This is the Midnight Narrator, signing off. Until next time, remember, be careful what you seek in the echoes of the departed, for you might just find it, and it might not be what you expect.